Welcome everyone to Haven of Horror. As always, I am Subject, and I have Robert, Dumbass, Wild. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a good nickname for this one. And we're here to watch The King of Kings.
The classic film about Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you just really wanted to do it on this channel. I don't know why. Uh, but no, we are here to finish what we started eons ago with Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2.
Hell yeah. Did we do any prep for this? Nope. Do I remember where we left
Absolutely
off?
not.
Nope. We'll figure it out. It's fine. We've seen the show before.
I think it is episode 6.
It should be. We should have just done the
Yeah,
first
because we should
five.
have done the first 5. All right. Are you at timestamp 0?
I'm ready.
That's not what I said. I said, are you at timestamp 0?
I am. I'm ready.
But I didn't ask if you were ready. I asked if you were at timestamp 0.
I'm ready.
Uh,
I
oh,
am.
remind me to tell you later, but we got a trailer for Resident Evil 9.
Oh, that was confirmed. Okay.
We're
I
going
did not
back
notice
to
it.
Raccoon,
Ooh.
like nuked Raccoon City. All right. In 3, 2, 1, play. And
Stars
it's funny
Originals
because I
presents.
saw people like confused, and I know this is gonna date this commentary, but I don't care. Like, is it Resident Evil 9? Because it's like Resident Evil and a subtitle like Village. Like, it says 9 in the trailer.
999.
Well, because they tried to pull that shit with 8, where they were like, oh, Village isn't really 8, but then the trailer when it showed the Village part highlighted the VII, like 8. It's like, fuck off, Capcom.
We know what you're doing.
Well, and it was funny too because today was Summer Games Fest. They were like, "We know you have many questions about Resident Evil, especially with next year being the 30th anniversary. We don't have anything to show, but we will soon." And then at the end of the show, they dropped the 9 trailer. I was like, "Fuck you." So we're getting into the stuff. 6 and 7 I like a lot because I believe this is the Cheryl episode, maybe.
Yeah, we're back at Ash's home, so this might be the Cheryl episode. Typically on these Blu-rays, it annoys me when we include the recaps as part of the episode instead of making them optional. But for the purposes of our show, it is convenient because it's like,
Yeah,
okay, that's where we left off. That's what happened. Okay.
yeah.
Pablo's still getting fucked by that book.
Yeah. This is the worst subplot.
This is the subplot that goes on a while.
Well, it's because like I don't understand what's going on. I don't think the writers understand what's going on.
We need characters to be in danger and have something to do.
And we're getting near that last stretch, like 3 episodes, where I'm just like, oh, you just said fuck it.
Yeah. This season probably more than the other two had the messiest production, especially by the end. And I think in the long run, it worked out. We lose a showrunner, and a lot of stuff has changed. But like I said, in the long run, I think for the better.
Uh, yeah. Here's Dollar Store Michael Shannon.
Oh,
Am I wrong? Like,
you're not wrong. I do like Ball though. I think he's a fine villain.
you like balls?
Yeah.
No, he's fine. It is funny where we get to the end of the season and it's just like, remember Henrietta? So that actor's name is Joel Torbeck. I'm seeing if he's been in anything else that I've seen him in, because it's insane how much he looks like Michael Shannon.
I think he's one of those New Zealand actors that's worked with Raimi and like
Yeah,
Xena, things like
Hercules and
that.
Xena.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Oh,
that in this show.
he's also a voice actor in Power Rangers.
Oh, cool. Good for him.
Do I know who the hell is Jupiter? Jupiter. And in a season that I've seen. Hey guys, someone who hasn't seen the show, is it worth watching now that it's I mean, it's Ash vs Evil Dead. Like Evil Dead is peak. If you like Evil Dead, then yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think this is a weird show to watch if you haven't seen the movies. Definitely watch the
Don't
original
watch
trilogy
this
first.
without the movies. You won't know what's happening.
But in terms of it getting canceled, though, they knew there was a chance season 3 was going to be it for them. So I think they end in a fine place. I wish we got more, but
It's fine. I mean,
I think what we got satisfying enough.
wait a minute. Oh, uh, he is also one of the orc captains in Return of the King.
That makes sense. That's a New Zealand production.
His finest, truly his finest role. You couldn't even tell it was him. He really disappeared.
That line is
Shadowing.
weird. Yeah, kind of foreshadowing, but not since we end up.
Yeah, it's fine. It's foreshadowing the original plan.
Yeah, it's just funny that that's stated. And I'm in the camp of thank God they changed course because I don't like the idea of Kelly being his daughter at all. I think that would have been a terrible twist.
Different. I guess at the end of the day, I'm glad because I do like Brandy. Although
Hmm.
I think they stretched some of the drama with her a bit far in season 3.
Hmm. I don't know, but you go back to that first season, and it would make Ash flirting with Kelly really
Okay,
awkward and annoying
but
on a rewatch.
okay, but do you complain about The Empire Strikes Back?
I make fun of it.
Right, but it doesn't make it annoying.
It's still a weird. It's a funny weird choice. This is not
Yes.
something I expected you to defend, Mr. Pro
They
Incest
didn't
over here.
do anything.
I still think it would have been forced and unnecessary. Let Kelly be Kelly.
I like how you say I'm defending it when I said I'm kind of glad they did what they did because I like Brandy. It's just weird to die on the hill of it's weird here, or it would be bad here, but it's not bad in Star Wars, which is arguably worse.
I didn't say it wasn't.
So this actress is another like TV character actress. She's been in a bunch of shit,
Yeah,
including the hit show
Picard lady.
Picard.
Yeah, she's also in Daredevil season 2.
Is she?
Yeah, she's like that angry DA lady or whatever that
Oh
goes up against
yeah,
Foggy and Karen,
I just watched that too.
and then she
This is
dies.
Linda, what, like 700?
Yeah, one of the many Lindas. I don't know if there was the original plan was to bring her back, because she just disappears from
Yeah.
3 for some reason, but we don't explain that.
She's in your favorite movie, I Spit on Your Grave 3.
Oh
Vengeance.
God, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, no, that remake got like 3 or 4 sequels. I Spit on Your Grave 3, colon, Vengeance is Mine. That's the most direct to DVD title. No,
Oh
I
yeah.
think the thing that pisses me off the most about this finale, and we'll get to it more when we get into that and then season 3, is it completely undoes all of Ruby's character development, and then we just reset the status quo. She's the bad guy again.
Yeah, kind of. This version of Ruby, I still think has a satisfying arc. It's
The
more like
problem is
a
if you're gonna do that, then she cannot come back.
yeah. I'd say it's more of a Lionel Smallville season 10 situation. Like it's a different version of that character.
But not to that degree. There's not an Evil Dead multiverse.
Mhm.
As far
But
as
still, it's a
because even the
time
show acts
displaced
like
version.
this. Even the show acts like she is the one and only Ruby. They never mention the one that I remember anyway. It's been a minute and I've only seen season 3 all the way through once. They never mention this Ruby again after this season.
Yeah, I thought they did, but I could be
I could
misremembering.
also be wrong. She's also on The Walking Dead Dead City. I don't even know which one that is.
That's the Maggie and Negan one.
Is it? I thought it was called something
Yeah,
else.
no, that one's Dead City.
That's such a weird spin-off pitch.
Hmm. It's like I don't know. These are fan favorites. These are actors we still got.
Are they like I don't know if you're keeping up, but are they like romantically involved in the show?
No, I don't think they've gone that route.
That would be so
I
weird.
hope they don't.
If you ever wanted your Martha and Thomas Wayne spinoff, there you go.
Yeah, he would have been a cool Thomas Wayne. Sucks we never got that.
We did. It's in
Flashpoint Batman.
BVS.
Well, I mean, Flashpoint Batman.
Make it happen, James Gunn.
We talked over it, but earlier when Ash was wearing that red jacket, I was like, he looks just like Clark in Smallville. He's wearing that exact same wardrobe.
Bruce, you know, I'm just saying, like in the '90s, Bruce Campbell could have been Superman.
He could have. There's a lot of superheroes he could have been. It's kind of tragic that ever happened.
So, because I think about this sometimes too. I almost wonder if it would have been better if you leave Ruby dead, maybe kill Pablo because he gets fuck all to do in season 3.
Hmm.
From what I remember, and just season 3 is kind of just a fresh start. You know, Ash, Kelly, new villain.
I would have been sad if we lost Pablo permanently. I kind of like that the show follows the movie where like the movies where like Ash if you're a main character you're probably fine or you have a chance at coming back. It's very stupid and doesn't make sense, but I'm okay
And
with
that's
a degree of
fine.
plot armor in Evil
No,
Dead.
I am too, but I'm just thinking for like structure because what does he even do in season 3?
I don't remember. I still remember having some funny moments at least.
And you could have replaced him with what's her name? I just said it earlier, Brandy.
That Brandy.
Or maybe made season 3 about getting him back. They have the book.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is a show where, with the benefit of hindsight, there's a lot of things I would have changed, and it certainly could have been better. While I'm watching it, most of those problems don't bother me. I just like it's a really entertaining, fun show.
I mean, this is still one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm just
Mhm.
season 3 I think
And
is the worst season. I'm like, well, here's these ways in this season I think you could have set up for better stuff.
mhm. and I don't know. In the spirit of the movies, I'm just not too hung up on continuity with this property.
I mean, I don't care about continuity other than I do want Ash to finally have an ending.
Mhm.
But we're just for Pablo, it's not a continuity thing. It's we're just doing season 1 again, but less interesting, and it's the worst subplot and then he doesn't have anything to do in 3, so why is he still here?
Hmm. For moral support.
Well, and part of it sucks too is they never pay off the Kelly and Pablo thing.
Yeah, they flirt with it a lot.
I
Now this
remember
was
seeing the trailer for this episode, and like, holy shit! Because this is like the first thing to acknowledge Cheryl in the movies or shows at all.
yeah, she's one of the most forgotten characters in this franchise until this.
Well, because everything is going off of 2, which erases Cheryl and Scotty and
Mhm.
whatever that other girl's name was.
I think it's Shelly.
Is it Shelly? How insane would it have been if Shelly came back?
Yeah, but this is the type of nonsense I'm talking about. Like, does this actually make sense with how Deadites work? I don't know, some blood comes out of her photo, makes a body,
It's
and now
fine.
Cheryl's back. I don't know. It's fine.
That's the stuff that I don't care about.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just a fun excuse to bring this actress back. And then I think she does the voice in the video game, so good for her.
Does she? Oh, do you mean of Cheryl?
Yeah.
Yes, because they got as many cast members back as they could.
Hmm.
I think there's only a few exceptions. But also, let's be honest. What else is she doing? The only one of those original 4 that had a career was Bruce Campbell.
That is correct.
Are you ready for Evil Dead Burn?
Yeah, why not?
We still got to do Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, she is in the game. Oh, she's in that movie My Name is Bruce. Also as Cheryl.
I've never seen that.
I've seen it once, but it was a long, long time ago.
Oh my god, Cheryl's a Deadite. I didn't see that coming. I also love Chet. It sucks that we didn't get him in the game. It's nice to give Ted Raimi a bigger role here.
I don't know if I ever told you, but there was a Twitter account dedicated just to petitioning Chet in Evil Dead the game, and it was amazing. Yeah, I'm looking at this actress Ellen Sandweiss. She isn't in anything from The Evil Dead until 2006.
Look, she did a lot of conventions in between and a lot of behind the
To be
scenes documentary.
fair, to be fair, if I also went through what they went through to make that first Evil Dead, I wouldn't want to be an actor either. Okay, so this isn't a complaint, but it would have been cool if just for her they recreated like the shitty makeup from the first movie, where like you could see it falling off of her in places, and she's got those crappy contact lenses. Oh yeah, so the original Linda also came back for the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never remember
Not
which
Linda
one.
number 600, but like the original Linda.
Mhm.
But no, I do like this reunion. Siblings this many years later, she's still possessed.
Mhm. Yeah, it is just really fun to see these actors together again.
Oh shit! But the actress that played Linda has actually done like stuff. She also
No,
took a
cool.
hiatus, but she was on that Bosch Legacy. She's on an episode of NCIS. Oh, she was in an episode of True Blood. Oh God, we're gonna have to do True Blood at some point. That I'm
One
dreading.
day.
That's that era of like, let's make vampires hot for 30-year-old. I forgot about that other girl, the one from the car episode. I was like, who the fuck is that?
That's Linda's daughter.
Is her name also Linda?
No, but that'd be amazing. Like I said, the chemistry of these actors is just so good. They're always giving it their all. They're always fun to watch. And yeah, one of my favorite things that this season explores, though, is actually getting to talk about Ash losing his sister again. And it just adds to the tragedy and like, oh yeah, this guy's kind of fucked up. From He didn't just have to put down his girlfriend; he also lost his sister, and that really
It,
sucks.
it kind of really puts into perspective my theory that has always been each film is him progressively getting crazier. It's not, oh, we've just decided a different characterization. It's no, he's just had a really shitty weekend. Like,
He's starting to snap, yeah. And here, I like that we get to do a lot of fun Evil Dead 2 esque shenanigans without literally being in the cabin. We're in Ash's childhood home instead, and we're having some fun with that. Until we get to the finale when we actually go to the cabin again.
I think that's the biggest mistake. You can't do that twice in a row.
Mhm.
Um, Still better than Evil Dead Rise, where they just start going, "Dead by dawn, dead by dawn." Because remember,
Remember? That's at least that's not the most egregious remember this line, but it's still unnecessary.
there's another one in that movie that's really bad.
I think it's when the protagonist, I think she says, "Come get some,"
Yeah,
and you're like,
the,
"No, we don't need that."
it was funny because I remember it's not even that I don't need that. It's she sucks at delivering that line. Uh,
It's still not as bad as Alien Romulus, but it's the
yeah,
same conversation of just cut that.
and the
You
elevator
don't
of
need it.
blood. Can, can we just
Yeah,
stop
that
with
was
The
more fun.
Shining? Can we just stop? But also, we'll talk about it more when we do Rise. I'm already pretty confident what Burn is gonna be. I am done with dark and serious Evil Dead. We've had enough. Give me goofy, stupid shit again.
Yeah, Tyler just asked what we hope to see out of Evil Dead Burn. I'm fine with one more dark and gritty one. I just want new locations, new characters. I hope it's a cool movie, but after that, it's like, okay, can we do something campy again?
Yeah. Well, because everybody wants to make Evil Dead 1,
Right.
but they don't seem to understand that's not what this franchise is anymore. It
Mhm.
never was.
Now that this
He's
death is
dead.
heartbreaking. Yeah. He might be fine.
Gives new meaning to eat your heart out.
Oh. But in classic Evil Dead fashion, if you're a main character, there you might have some plot armor bullshit. But if you're a side character like Chet, you're done. There is no chance in you coming back.
But yeah, Tyler, to answer your question, that's the main thing. Is I just want to see somebody make something goofy again.
Hmm. This was a good Army of Darkness esque speech. Those fucking Deadites.
I love the kick on that shotgun. It's one way, but it's fine.
Oh my god.
She saw his point, or he saw her point.
I call bullshit that when you get to the end of the season, there are as many townspeople left as there are, because I think we've wiped out so many of them over the course of this
Yeah,
season.
but time travel. Did that ever happen? I don't know.
No,
I don't think the writers know.
but I'm pretty sure everyone who dies stays dead.
I
Like from
don't
this
know
town.
because they never talk about it.
No. Remember, you see the ghosts of his dad and Chet at the like.
Oh
No, they're still
yeah.
dead. One thing I do like about the show, it doesn't do the Army of Darkness thing where you can just shoot a Deadite a couple times and it's just done for some reason. No, in this show you still gotta hack them up.
This always looked a little rough.
Like some of the digital stuff, but at least the blood's still real.
Like I feel like his chainsaw reset like 3 times between shots.
Not again. And like I said, that's always what I've enjoyed about this show is you get the humor and ash of Army of Darkness, but with the gore and demons and stuff from Evil Dead 2. Like it's a good mix. Oh, it's that song. I always
Yeah.
forget. Going to take me away.
Well, that was season 2, episode 6.
Yeah, flew by. Tyler, we'll answer your question at the start of the next commentary. We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, the fun episode. It's all the stuff with Cheryl's
It's a
really
top one. Top of this season
good.
for me.
Is
We
the
should
next
do
episode
a
the Asylum one?
yes, and that should be a
That's a
sign of how much
standout.
I like this show. I hate the asylum trope. Like Smallville ruined that for me. But I love this episode. It's also unusual you see this show really do the genre trappings. Because that's part of it is the Insane Asylum episode is like everywhere.
Mhm.
What is this episode called?
Delusion.
Okay. All right, everyone. This is season 2, episode 7. Delusion, unless Robert is being delusional.
Heyo.
Got him. Is everybody at timestamp 0?
I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Tyler asks, would you have Bruce Campbell back, or are you satisfied with the ending of Ash's character? I am outspoken that I want him to come back, do one more, get a proper send off. Even if it's animated and he just voices the character, I'd be happy with that. But it's also like I'm never gonna say no to Bruce Campbell as Ash on my screen. Like it's my favorite character in live action film or television.
But also part of the fun and tradition of Evil Dead though is I kind of like that Ash never gets a proper ending. Like the first movie ends on a downer, second movie ends on like kind of a cliffhanger. The third one's the only one that gives Ash like a happy ending, depending on the cut you watch.
Lady, I'm
Um,
gonna have to ask you to leave the store.
and oh, remember Evil Dead?
No.
This stuff's always really fun when you get a mix of
Yeah.
footage for both movies. But I don't know, Tyler. Like, if we never got more, I'm fine. If we got what John wants, which is a proper send off, I'd have to see how that's executed.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
definitely something I'd be nervous
of
about.
course it could be horrible. I would only be happy if it is Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell. Like it has to be the original team.
I just don't want them to kill off Ash. I don't want that. It
He's
depends
had a
on the
long
send off.
life.
But yeah, that animated show I hope happens. That could be cool. Like it's said, I don't
My
need Bruce Campbell
my pitch
to
is
do
if
this
you
role in live
kill him,
action
it
anymore.
should be in the stupidest way possible. Just because that is Ash, like he would kill himself in like the dumbest way possible. Um, but no, this is probably my favorite because this is a genre on TV trope, right? We always have to do the maybe it was all in his head. Buffy also has a really good one to this day that I still cannot tell you if the show that we're watching is in her head or not. It's weird.
Well, you get all the tropes here. You get all the other characters getting to play like doctors or nurses.
Or crazy
You got
people.
yeah, we're crazy people. We got Ash in the asylum here. But I think what helps this one is this isn't just a filler episode where we're killing time. It's just we've already established that how this villain is gonna fuck with him and get at his head, and it's just a new way to explore this villain and what he's
It
doing to
also helps that
Ash,
it's
and
only 30 minutes.
that is also true.
The Smallville one is so fucking boring because we have to drag everything out for an hour.
Mhm.
And they waited until season 6. I'm like, no, I already know that. I know
That's
what you're
like a
doing.
season 2 premise. But like you said, this one it doesn't feel like they're trying to fuck with the audience. They're just fucking with the character. That they're not trying to trick you or make you think, oh, maybe this is what's really going on. No, it's just a new scenario to throw Ash into.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna forget if I wait till after the stream. But the other big thing that they announced is Hitman is
Mhm.
getting a 007 DLC, and it's a timed mission where you have to kill Mad's character from Casino Royale, and if you do, you get exclusive rewards for their 007 game.
That's amazing. So is that, do they also have a new Hitman game coming out,
No, it's
or is
coming
that
to
just
the Hitman 3. It's DLC. What's annoying is it launches later tonight and it's only active for 30 days. So if you
Oh.
don't have Hitman 3, you're shit out of luck. Oh, that reminds me, I should download Hitman 3. I kind of want to make Cap watch just this episode
This would be a fun one to just jump into.
because he's seen the pilot.
That's true.
But we need to try also for the channel. I want to try to play the Resident Evil Outbreak game soon because 9 looks like it's connected to those, which is insane. These spin-off games from the PS2 are suddenly important.
I'm sure Bruce Campbell enjoyed filming this episode. He's just laying in a bed.
Yeah.
He's not covered in fake blood. And speaking of Army of Darkness, which we mentioned earlier, of course, I've got my new Ash S Smart Funko Pop. Pretty
Shop
awesome.
smart. Shop S smart.
Yeah, it's
You know
great.
one thing. One thing I do have to say because the chainsaw hand is so cool. They
Mhm.
never have come up with like a suitable replacement for that. I'm sorry, the armor hand in Army of Darkness is lame, and his like video game hand is also lame.
You know, I can't believe you say that when we have the puppet Ashy Slashy on
You know
screen,
what? You're
which
right.
is the
Ashy
best.
Slashy is the best replacement for the chainsaw.
They,
I
they
forgot that Ashy Slashy lays like on his hand.
it's so good.
Uh so because I mentioned Buffy, this also reminds me of an episode of Angel where Angel gets turned into a puppet. And it, and so you've got this kind of same setup where it's a living puppet.
One thing I know Bruce Campbell has always hated about playing this character is he hates when he has to put on like the fake stump,
Uh-huh.
because they're so uncomfortable. So I'm sure when he's filming shit like this, he's like, "Oh, thank God, I'm just wearing a hand puppet or a fucking giant chainsaw that weighs a ton."
Yeah.
Here he's like, "Oh, thank God, this is so nice." And they made this puppet for real. You could buy it, and now it's like impossible to get. And I'm kicking myself for not getting it.
I love that it's like an actual replica of him.
It's so cool. I know in one of the Dead by Daylight skins, he's wearing that.
John, I asked Robert earlier. No, I am broke for the foreseeable future.
Bruce Campbell's screaming just never gets old. He can do it in his
No.
sleep at this point.
I mean, he's made a career out of this character getting the shit beat out of him. Whoa.
And this
Hey, do you
episode gets
remember
to do fun,
Inception?
creative shit. Yeah.
Talk about a movie
No,
that came and went. Like, nobody talks about Inception anymore.
It was a pretty big hit.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say it wasn't. I said nobody talks about it anymore.
Now, what I like about this episode is it goes to those Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors places.
Yeah.
It's similar setting or doing some creative stuff with the environment.
Do you remember Kelly?
Oh, that's who that is.
It's really a shame she hasn't had a bigger career after this show.
She deserves it. She's great. Like she should get better stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if
She
this is
should
a
be in
hot
movies and
take, but
shit.
I like Kelly way more than Pablo.
I love both of them, but yeah,
I
Kelly's
like
great.
both of them, but I think Pablo hits a point where he becomes just a one-note character, and then that's like what he is for the entire show. She at least gets other stuff to do.
Yeah, for sure. Don't do that. Why'd you do that? I also like that episodes like this just give the other actors more variety in what they can do. Um,
Oh, don't worry, Robert.
that's
She
always
was
fun to see.
girl number 2 in Two Broke Girls.
Oh,
Her second finest role.
was she one of the titular broke girls?
No, she's just girl number 2. Her last movie was Friendsgiving.
Oh,
This looks amazing.
and you got to do the electroshock therapy, trying to fry his brain.
Do you think the Penguin was looking at this show?
I hope.
I mean, the Penguin wishes it was this show.
Split diopter shot.
What was it we were watching that did this shot for like no reason? Oh, the Fog remake where it like zooms in on Tom Welling, but it has the shot in the background for like no reason, and you were like losing your mind.
The Haunting remake also did a split diopter shot
Or
where there's
oh
just
no, that's what it
nothing.
was. Not the Fog. It
Yeah,
was the Haunting with because it was Liam Neeson like in the front, and then just nothing
and
behind
the
him.
background, yeah, the background's also in focus, but for no reason.
And it's funny because I wish that Flanagan had maybe done that with the show, because there's like so many
Hmm.
little ghosts in the background that it would have been cool to maybe highlight. But I don't
All
think
of
he
the.
does that in.
I don't immediately recall if there's a split diopter shot. Oh my god, Chet's
It's
alive.
Chet.
It's nice to see him again. And Ted Raimi is one of those guys where his filmography is almost entirely Raimi projects.
Yeah, except for a
It's
couple things that it's just really weird to
like
see.
Candyman.
Candyman, The Quarry.
Yeah, no, he was great in the Quarry. It was fun to see him there.
He's why I was interested in that game. I was like, I don't know. I don't know any of these actors, and part of the fun with Until Dawn is I knew a couple of those actors. Uh, when are we just gonna start a Bruce Campbell channel? We just watch through all of his.
Oh my god, they're watching public domain horror.
That's truly the scariest thing of all. Ted Raimi was in something else that I watched recently. Oh, we gotta play Evil Dead Regeneration because he's in that.
That's true. Yeah,
He's in an episode of Supernatural.
That's great. Has anyone played more characters in the Evil Dead franchise than Ted Raimi? He's got to hold that record.
Uh, yeah, probably.
You got Henrietta, you got Chet, you got the regeneration character.
But do you count every mini Ash as a different character from Army of Darkness?
Except
No, because he's
some of
also like
those
the
aren't Bruce
fill-in.
Campbell. Most of those are different guys, and when you look closely, you can tell.
Because because he also like did the Shemp stuff in the
Yeah,
first movie.
he's the double. He's a double for some of them.
Slasher Fred, Ash versus the Evil Dead series felt like it was a continuation to Army. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
So I would hope it feels that way.
Well, like we were saying earlier, I think it's a good blend of the two. You get the humor and personality of Army of Darkness, but with the gore from Evil Dead 2. And also with Ted Raimi.
What?
Speaking of art, remember, Ted Raimi plays like 3 different characters in Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
For no reason.
He voices the character in Invader Zim.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I don't know who Scooge is, but
that's an unfortunate name.
Yeah.
He's freaking out.
It's so funny too, looking at Ted Raimi's like credits, because you get to video games, Evil Dead Regeneration, and then The Quarry. That's it. There's no in between. Yeah, so just in Army of Darkness, he's the cowardly warrior, he's the swordsmith, he's a villager, and he's the S smart clerk. I think the least he has is Evil Dead 1 or 2, where he's just Henrietta. Wait, he's in Patriot Games?
Oh my god, that's great.
I haven't seen that, but I've read the book.
I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen it in a long time.
That's kind of that golden era I think a lot of people think of with Jack Ryan, where it's Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm gonna be honest, like I haven't seen the movie, but when I was reading those books, that's not who I imagined for Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan is not the point of Jack Ryan is that he's an analyst. He's not a field guy. That's not Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is the field guy. But every time we cast him in an adaptation, it's like here's action star hero.
Mm-hmm. He also gets progressively younger over the course of those movies. We go from Ben Affleck to Chris Pine in the last couple.
The Chris Pine one, I believe, is a fresh full reboot.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's weirder because unless I'm wrong, like Patriot Games is still in the same continuity as Hunt for the Red October. So he goes from like Alec Baldwin to Harrison Ford to Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Seems legit.
I want to see
all those actors look like exactly the same.
I do want to see Hunt for the Red October because I want to see Sean Connery play a Russian sub commander. That's gonna be peak.
That movie's great. Sam Neill's also in that movie.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? Oh, wild. Do you remember that movie Without Remorse from like 2021 with Michael B. Jordan?
Oh yeah, that's based on a Tom Clancy book, I think.
That's a Jack Ryan spinoff.
Hmm. Yeah, that character he plays, I think, is in some of the Jack Ryan movies.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that is John Kelly. Funnily enough, codenamed Rainbow Six. And if you know anything about your video games, Rainbow Six is one of the big Tom Clancy game series. Um,
that's
we keep
probably
we keep trying with Jack Ryan in film, and it never works out. I don't know why we keep trying.
yeah. I've heard the show's all right. I should
Well,
give the show a
apparently
shot at
they're
some
making
point.
another movie.
Yep.
Yeah, the show could be good. That's probably the only time they've cast somebody that I buy is Jack Ryan. This was the second time that Bruce Campbell and Lucy Lawson worked on a TV series produced by Sam Raimi. Yep, since Hercules and Xena.
Yeah, I've never seen those shows. I at least want to check out the Bruce Campbell episodes. I'd watch
I
those.
I do because I remember seeing them. I've never seen a lot of the show, but as a kid, I had the animated big crossover Hercules and Xena show or movie, and I loved that. To watch those. Uh,
Yeah, I think Xena is now the better remembered of the two, especially
it
since Kevin
probably
Sorbo's.
yeah. One of these people is a great person. The other is Kevin Sorbo. Um, Jesus.
This is the goofy Evil Dead shit I love. Just a hand puppet covered in blood.
Yeah.
You don't see that in most shows.
I don't. Back to Jack Ryan real quick, because I don't know how far that show gets. But what's interesting about the books is he starts out, like I said, as just like a lowly CIA analyst. But by the
Mhm.
time you get about halfway through those books, he's the fucking president of the United States. And we never
Yep.
get there because we keep making shitty action movies.
We keep rebooting.
We have to reboot.
When I was a kid, I just assumed that Air Force One was a Jack Ryan movie, just when he's the president. Because in my defense, Harrison Ford plays the president that, and his character is named Jack. I just thought it was a Jack Ryan movie,
Oh,
and he has a wife
wild.
and daughter like Jack Ryan
Okay,
does.
so this new movie is a reboot, but not a total reboot. It is a continuation of the show.
Yeah, yeah, Krasinski's still doing it, so that's
Weird.
interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how far that show got.
I think 3 seasons.
I mean, like I don't know how far into the like books
Hmm.
or if it's even adapting the books. It's so fucking hard to tell anymore.
Yeah,
Tom Clancy died and then his properties just became whoever wanted to make something and fucking Ubisoft will slap his name on anything they can.
that's
It's
true.
it's really
Yeah,
sad.
I'm aware he's not that involved with those games, like past the first one, but his name's
No,
always
it was
there.
funny because a few years ago they announced a mobile game that was like a crossover. Like here's Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. Here's blah blah blah, and then at the end it was Tom Clancy presents. I was like, fuck you. No, he didn't. He's dead. And I guarantee you, if you showed him this Fortnite looking mobile game, he'd go, "What the fuck is this?" The original movie was almost a remake of Sam Raimi's short movie Within the Woods. That is true
That's true.
because Within the Woods was made solely to finance The Evil Dead.
Yeah, it's like a proof of concept short film. Although I am aware that Within the Woods goes in like a more traditional, like slasher
Yes.
type
Bruce Campbell, I
direction of
believe,
that
is the
era.
final Deadite in that.
Yeah, I think he's like the main bad guy at the end, and then there's Linda or whatever her name is like the final girl.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it. I've tried to watch it before, but it only exists in
It's
like really
really hard
shitty.
to look at.
Like it's rough. I don't know if that could ever properly be restored.
Probably not, because
I'd love to watch it though.
that's a Super 8 film. I don't even know if you can like upscale
Hmm.
that. Tyler
Yeah.
says there was meant to be a Six Siege movie. I think the problem is who's the market for that? It is they're political thriller action movies. Yeah, there's probably like a small audience for that, especially nowadays. But you would need a huge budget to even make it. The only
Well, one thing
reason
I was gonna.
is like not even Mission Impossible is doing good, and that's Tom Cruise trying to kill himself on screen.
Well, I was gonna say earlier that I think our generation now probably knows Tom Clancy more from those video games than
Yeah,
Jack Ryan. But even then, that is that's also an old property at this point. Uh, I don't know how much people still care about those games.
honestly, if they well, you still get like The Division did really good. People are clamoring for a Splinter Cell remake. I think that's what they should do is stop making Jack Ryan movies. Make a Jack Ryan video game.
Yeah. Or a comic book series.
Yeah, I'm shocked they've never tried to do. Don't destroy the book.
Ash is turning evil.
This was Dragon Ball Super. He'd be Ash Black. And then you could have that cop go, "Don't shoot. This man isn't black." Somebody knew what they were doing when they recorded that line.
Oh my
Oh, I
god.
forgot. This is a two-parter.
Yeah, imagine if the show ended there. That's the last episode.
That'd be peak. All right, that is season 2, episode 7. Wow, the cabin must only be a two-parter then.
Yeah, because we've got the next episode to wrap up the asylum stuff and the time travel shenanigans in the last two.
That's the stuff I'm not looking forward to. All right.
At least it's short.
Yeah. What is the name of episode 8?
Ashy Slashy.
Peak 8. Ashy Slashy.
Don't call him that.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with anything, but it's been on my mind. Have you watched Predator Killer of Killers yet?
I've not watched it yet. I saw your ranking of it with the other films.
I really like it, but I have questions about the ending. And I think they are in real danger of jumping the shark.
Maybe that's his MO though. It's like, look, I have to have a weird ending thing that people talk about. Prey had the thing with the gun.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just gonna be the tradition.
Are you watching that tonight?
I don't know. I might wait till tomorrow. But we'll be reviewing it Sunday.
We will. That's the big thing I have to talk about because, yeah, I don't know where they're going with that, but and it's funny because it's the exact same thing as Prey, where Prey has that really weird like post-credit sequence with the cave. This also has a really weird post-credit scene that I don't know what to do with. All right.
Is there anything you think is leading into Badlands, or do you think that's going to be completely separate?
Because let's see, Badlands is like on the Predator planet, right? And they brought all these people.
Yeah, and it's set in the future.
Yes, the entire there's an entire part of this that I'm pretty sure is a tie-in for Badlands. Now that you say it.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
In 3, this is season 2. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I'm all over the place. In 3, this is season 2, episode 8, Ashy Slashy. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Stars. That's true. Slasher Fred, Bruce Campbell, and Sam Raimi are not lifelong friends, but like they meet like in high school, right?
Yes.
And even though Sam Raimi has tortured this man many times for our
It's his
entertainment, he
favorite
always comes back.
activity.
Yeah, Campbell has cameos or appearances in most Raimi movies. There might be a couple.
The notable one
he
that I
doesn't
know
show.
of anyway is he is not in Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Have you seen that?
I have. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. Its biggest problem is some really unfortunate CGI.
Yeah. It helps that it's more cartoony, over the top movie.
No, it does, but the problem is that some of it looks bad. If you had 5 desert island horror films, what would they be? They don't have to be the best, just ones that you can rewatch over and over again.
That's hard because 3 of those are Evil Dead movies.
Evil Dead 2, Dawn of the Dead, Jason X, Army of Darkness, 1978's Dawn of the Dead. And for variety, I'll go Nightmare 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I could just take like the Evil Dead trilogy and then throw on a couple more, but
Yeah, for me, it's Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. For sure. It's tough because you have to separate like your favorite horror movies from ones that have more rewatchability. Like, I probably wouldn't have Exorcist on there, even though that's one of my favorites.
no, you got to no. What you do is you take Exorcist 3 because it's the quotable one.
I would.
It
I
is
would
not
probably
in the 5.
have Exorcist 3. Oh, you know what you forgot that I'm having on my list?
What's up?
The Thing.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I
The
love
Thing's
The
a big
Thing.
one.
It's really watchable. I think everything I listed is more watchable to me. Or I can watch it over and over again.
Yeah, if I had to pick one Friday movie, I'm probably going with Part 4.
We have a tie, by the way, on our poll between 5 and Jason X.
Oh, I know which one you're rooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you posted that yet. So for anybody watching, we have a poll up for which Friday the 13th movie we should do a commentary on next week. Because next week is another Friday the 13th. So
To
it's
be fair to
between.
you, I forgot until you said something about Friday the 13th. I was like, oh yeah, I posted that.
So if you're watching this, go vote. The options are Part 5, Part 7, Part 8, and Jason X.
Jason dies tonight. I also appreciate that they don't take the time to build up where these 20 something year olds got military SMGs. Tyler voted for Jason X. Peak.
Oh my god. Linda's daughter is a deadite. That's one of those choices this season I do question is we do end up killing Linda's daughter, and we don't have a lot of time to dwell on it. Like, we honestly, like, Linda's a character we could have killed off since she doesn't come back next season.
Yeah, but I do also kind of love that she just is never mentioned, doesn't exist. I forget, does she kill the sheriff?
Yeah.
I
I'm
do
pretty sure he
appreciate
dies.
this series' commitment to not giving a fuck about how possession works.
Yeah. There are
How
so
do
many
you get
situations.
possessed by a deadite? Yes.
Well, it's because the Deadites know that if you're Pablo or Kelly, you have plot armor and can't be possessed.
At least Pablo makes some sense. He's connected to the book somehow.
That's true.
Ash is the chosen one. That's fine.
Yeah. And Slasher Fred, we have watched the show before. This isn't a first time watch, but
You
yeah,
ruined
the
this
ending.
entire show for me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you would just say that the ending of the show is kind of an homage to the original plan for Army of
Army of
Darkness, but
Darkness.
it gives a more positive spin on it.
Yeah, they should
Oh
have
wait,
had Bruce Campbell go, I slept too long.
one of your cuts on your 4K you have does have that ending, right?
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think so.
I've never seen the other ads. Oh my
I
god.
would have to double check, but Scream Factory's pretty good about that because they put out a Blu-ray too that had 3 or 4 cuts of the movie.
Mhm. Yeah, Army of Darkness and the original Dawn of the Dead are like the big ones where there's like 4 cuts of that movie for some reason.
Yeah, at least with Evil Dead, with Army of Darkness, I could see why. Uh, Dawn of the Dead, the extended cut, really all it does is just ruin that movie's pacing. I could see why Romero made the cuts he did. However, the European cut by Argento is fascinating because it cuts out a lot of the humor and focuses more on the gore. So it's like, what if Dawn of the Dead was like Day of the Dead? Plus, you get extra Goblin music, and I fucking love Goblin's score for that movie. But the best cut is just the theatrical Romero vision.
Some of the inconsistency I like too. Sometimes Deadites are just bullet sponges, and then here it just gets shredded after Kelly shoots it. Well, and his daughter's dead now.
Peak.
That's a good Kelly scene. I'm sorry your father sucked. He's dead. Now you're dead. This whole thing sucks. She's so
Jamie!
desensitized by this point.
Just give a fuck. No! If if we have to keep making Evil Dead movies, make it about her. I would watch a movie with her as the protagonist.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see them bring Kelly back.
Since
And
apparently we're never gonna bring Mia back, because fuck it.
yeah, uh, if they ever get that animated show off the ground, that's definitely something where I want Ash to be the main character. Bruce Campbell can just voice it. That'd be a lot of fun. If you ever put him in a movie again, if you ever agree to that, I'm fine with Ash just being a supporting character. Whether it's a returning protagonist or a new protagonist, I'd be cool with seeing Ash as a side character in one of the new movies.
The only way I
Just
will
give him a couple
accept that is
scenes.
if the entire joke is that the new character sucks and everybody wants to see Ash, but he doesn't want to do it anymore and he tells them to go fuck themselves. Because the problem with that, Robert, is you run into that soft reboot thing. Creed has this really bad, at least to me, where I don't give a fuck about the new character. I just want to see the old character, whether it be Ash or Rocky.
No, Creed is one I think pulls it off.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it, but I had that same issue where it's like, oh, I just want to see Rocky. I don't care about Creed. Creed 2 was better though, I think.
Both good movies.
But I liked 3 well enough.
Creed. Yeah, it's fine. Creed 2 is like a better Rocky 4 sequel than it has any right to be. That movie shouldn't be as good as it is.
I know, right? But I'm glad Coogler finally got to make something like completely original with Sinners because it's peak.
Sinners is great.
That might be my favorite Coogler movie at this point. Because I think Black Panther 1 is okay and 2 is ugh.
I do love Pablo's fish and chips dream.
I love the pun if you think about it. Because chips are also an electronic.
Yeah, it's great. Are you surprised we haven't gotten more like new Evil Dead comics? Do you know who'd even have the license for that at this point?
It's so weird because like Dynamite had them for a while, but I think it was specifically Army of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And they were pumping those bad boys out like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, we got lots of Army of Darkness comics back in the day.
I don't know who owns the actual Evil Dead comic. Because like the only one, because I did a review on it, but there is a comic adaptation of the first movie that is really good until it's not. Because that tries to explain the differences in Evil Dead 1 and 2. As Evil Dead 1 is all a dream that he has before he gets to the cabin for Evil Dead 2. So he dreams exactly what is going to happen while also inventing a sister, a best friend, and best friend's girlfriend.
That reminds me of that '90s Halloween comic that tries to bridge the gap between Halloween 6 and H2O in an attempt to make H2O canon.
Jesus. I mean, what are they talking about? H2O is canon.
No, I mean like with the previous movies with
Oh, yeah,
4
yeah.
through 6.
No, but because I was
Spoiler,
reading,
it
like, oh,
doesn't work.
this is kind of cool. Like they do flesh out a couple things with like Ash and Cheryl, and then you get to the end, it's like, oh no, this was this was a mistake.
No, if you got the right artist on it, you could do a really cool comic adaptation of that material that doesn't have, some of the same production issues
I
that the
do
movie
know there's a
has. Like you
comic
could improve
because
on it.
Amazon keeps pushing it to me about what's her name, the main girl from 2 that dies like at the very end. There's a comic about her in
Oh,
hell
okay.
after
Oh,
2.
weird.
Yeah,
Is it Annie? Annie
Annie.
Nobi?
Yeah, Annie, are you okay? Uh, Tyler, would you be interested in an Elseworld style Evil Dead, where Ash gets back from Army of Darkness and the world is in complete ruins? I mean, yeah, that was the
That
original.
that's that was the
That's the
original
original
idea.
Army of Darkness ending. Well,
That's
because
something you could do in a
that game
comic.
that I want, that game that I want to play for the channel with Ted Raimi is a what if where he never gets sent back in time, and they
Mhm.
find him up at the cabin with a bloody chainsaw and a bunch of pieces, so they throw him in an insane asylum.
Mhm. Yeah, and I know this isn't looking at that material, but it is cool that you get kind
Yeah.
of a version of that in this show.
Oh, I'm sure that I'm sure Sam knows about this because Ted was in it.
That's true.
And Bruce. Because that's the other thing that's really impressive. Bruce does all of the games.
Hmm. I think there's like one random video game somewhere where somebody else voices Ash. I've never looked
Maybe,
at it.
but it's not an Evil Dead game because they only made 3 of them.
Hmm.
Well, 4 if you count the new one. Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, it might be that first one that was like on the Dreamcast. That's like a Resident Evil clone. Because I don't
Hmm.
know if there's a lot of voice acting in that. I
And
believe you can get this costume in either Dead by Daylight or the game.
the game has the skin. This is one of the skins they add later, but it's
Yeah,
such a cool look. I
it
love this look
is.
for Ash in the torn up straight jacket. He looks awesome.
Slasher Fred. There's a music video called Blood Red Sandman by a singer called Lord. Isn't that a pop singer? Which pays
I do
homage
not
to
know.
the original movie. Because I think Lord is the one that does that really annoying Royal song. You know what I'm talking about?
Not off the top of my head.
I fucking love this scene.
This scene's amazing. Kelly arguing with Ashy Slashy hand puppet. It's so good.
Uh, but the cool thing with the old video games is they all take advantage of the fact that you have basically just a hand that can be attached to anything. So like you get a spear gun, you get an upgraded chainsaw. I think one of the games gives him a fucking minigun.
You know what I love about this scene? It's very Evil Dead 2. Our protagonist
Is
has a
going
possessed thing
insane.
on their hand, and it is beating the shit out of themselves without feeling like too much of just a repeat. You know, it's enough of its own thing while having similar
Okay,
comedy.
Tyler says yes, that is Lord. Yeah, it's that song. We could be
True enough.
Royals. You know the difference between the different cuts of Army of Darkness and which one is your favorite? I mean, my favorite is just the theatrical. Like
Yeah,
the if I could get the theatrical cut with the original ending, that would be the best version. But the only cut that has the original ending is the extended one, and specifically the extended one, from what I remember, it's been a minute, has a different version of the windmill scene that is not as good.
I've heard it goes on way too long.
Yes, it really fucking
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, that's what's interesting about both Army of Darkness and the original Dawn of the Dead is they have multiple cuts, but the most seen versions are the theatrical cut and seem to be the most popular. Neither film is like, oh, there's this other cut that's way better. That's the definitive version. You need to watch it. They're more like oddities. You know, it's cool that they exist so that we have them, but they don't generally seem to be people's preferred versions.
Well, and
But
what's
I mean, I need to
interesting,
watch them for myself.
the key difference though, is Romero has said like the theatrical cut of Dawn of the Dead is his director's cut. That's why
Mhm.
the extended cut of Dawn of the Dead is specifically extended. It's everything thrown back in. And then you have a different cut which is made for overseas, which cuts down on the humor and ramps up the violence, which is interesting. But I watching it, I realized, oh, Dawn of the Dead without the humor is kind of boring. Whereas I with Army of Darkness there is a definitive cut
Mhm.
to be made there. They're
I
all
just heard,
dead.
yeah. Sorry, Linda. Without skipping a beat, Kelly's like, "Nope, haven't seen her.
She knows.
Now is not the time for this." I just noticed you forgot to put up the counter for this
I
episode,
did.
the
And
timer. It's fine. They're short
it's too late
episodes.
now.
This will be done in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, see, like Ruby being surviving could have created a new dynamic for the group going forward. Instead, they're like, "Fuck it." Slasher Fred, the original movie was such a cult movie that Wes Craven had used it in A Nightmare on Elm Street during the scene in which she tries to stay. That is
That's true.
mostly correct, but that is not why Evil Dead is in that. I don't know if you know about this. So in the hill, I think it's in The Hills Have Eyes. There's a like Jaws poster that's like torn, and that's supposed to
Hmm.
be a reference or something. So Sam Raimi, in response, has a torn up Hills Have Eyes poster in Evil Dead saying, "No, my movie is scarier." So then Wes Craven put Evil Dead in Nightmare on Elm Street and has Nancy struggling to stay awake for it, saying, "Oh, your movie's boring." So Sam Raimi then put the Freddy glove in Evil Dead 2,
Yep.
but I don't know what he was saying with that because it's just there. And I don't know if
It's
it
a little Easter
continued
egg.
past that, but there is no Wes Craven in Army of Darkness from what I remember.
Yeah, is there any Evil Dead reference in Scream?
No,
Because I don't think
because
there is.
that's very
It's all
specific, like
slasher stuff. Yeah.
slashers.
Although it's funny though, with some of the Evil Dead footage being in Nightmare on Elm Street, I know that's like the first place a lot of people ever even see footage from that movie.
Yeah,
Because the
and
one
then
everyone sees is Evil Dead 2.
yeah, and Evil Dead is also in Donnie Darko.
Oh, cool.
They go to see it in the theater, and a wormhole opens up in the middle of the screen. Don't worry, I can't spoil that movie. I wouldn't know how to begin. One thing I will give this actress for more than a lot of those like TV character actresses is she is versatile. I do buy her as just like a suburban mom, but I've also seen
Hmm.
her in shows like The Blind Spot, where it's like, yeah, I could buy that she's kind of a badass.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't keep her for season 3. I wonder if she was just busy or
She was
unavailable.
doing the hit show Picard. I
Oh.
don't actually know if Picard was filming at that point. My question is, where did he get that outfit?
Yes. No, it is fun that pretty much every season we do get to see Bruce Campbell play like a new take on Evil Ash. Ever since Evil Dead 2, like there's always an Evil Ash we have to deal with. That's kind of fun.
So deal with that too.
Well, yeah, because he gets possessed during that. You,
Oh
you get
yeah.
Dead-Eyed Ash.
And I like this because like, yeah, Ash is an idiot, but he's also really smart when it comes to fighting monsters. But he's also an idiot because he didn't tell anyone what he was doing.
It's like, yeah, Linda lost her husband and daughter, but she'll be fine. And I like that we pay off Ash's stupid tracker plan. Like, it actually works.
The one time he's ran out of ammo.
Also, props to Ray as Pablo here. He got pretty jacked this season. Like he was like, "Look, I'm gonna be shirtless a lot. I want to get in like really good shape, like way better
Dude,
shape than Pablo should be in."
do you remember when they were like teenagers working at a convenience store, like at a S Mart?
A lot's happened since then.
Well, it's funny because this has the kind of the Smallville thing where it's like, I think you were supposed to be at high school last season, and now, nope, you're just
You're,
adults.
you're all 30.
Well, and it shocked me too because the actress that plays Kelly is like mid-40s now.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I was like,
Yeah, no,
oh,
it's weird to think that.
that's how like desensitized I am. I bought you as like a 20-year-old for 3 seasons of a television show.
Yeah, and this show started like 10 years ago. I can't believe it's
Shut
been
up.
that long.
No, it didn't. Started yesterday.
First time I watched this, this was such a bummer. Like
This is
this is
a great
heartbreaking.
cliffhanger. He really fell to pieces.
Oh,
Long before he directed the original Spider-Man trilogy, says Slasher Fred. Sam Raimi had directed the cult dark superhero movie Darkman. That's a mouthful. And of course, Bruce Campbell has a cameo at the very end. That is correct.
yeah.
That is a
Bruce
thing
Campbell,
that happened.
I know he
Uh,
almost was Darkman for like the whole movie.
he
That would have been interesting.
That's who Raimi wanted. The studio said no for some reason and wanted Liam Neeson of all people.
I don't know if they wanted Liam Neeson or if they just said no to Campbell, but it's funny because Liam Neeson wasn't like a big name yet.
So
Uh,
I'm like 90% sure. Okay, no, sorry. I am quoting Jay from Red Letter Media on that, so I'm as sure as he is sure. So take him with what you will. But that he said that Neeson was a studio choice. That
yeah,
is going to
here.
be it
I
for
mean,
our commentary on season 2, episode 8. Thanks for watching. And if you're with us live, we're going to jump into episode 9 here in just a minute. Robert keeps forgetting that I have a manual recording that I have to stop, so he just keeps going. Uh, and then he yells at me when I need to stop the recording. What is episode 9?
what is episode 9? These are the important questions. Episode
Yes.
9 is Home Again.
Homecoming? I made that joke and then I almost typed Homecoming. All
Yeah,
right,
the
this
first
is
episode of the
season
season is
2,
Home.
episode 9, Homecoming. No, Home Again.
It's Home
God
Again.
damn it. Episode 1 was what?
No, the first episode of the season was Home, and this one is Home Again.
Oh.
Completely different titles.
Are we going home?
Yes.
All right. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1, play. Hey, did you know that this is a Stars original?
Oh my god.
But no, I
Can
remember
you?
at the Comic Con that this was announced at. I watched that like initial announced trailer like 100 times.
It was a big deal. Can you name any Stars originals since the show? Does anybody have Stars?
No. If what really pisses me off is if Stars had been smart and licensed this out to like Netflix, they could have made a shit ton of money and this show could have kept going.
I think the show got more views on Netflix.
It did because nobody Bruce Campbell talks about this. This was one of the most pirated shows on TV, nobody wanted stars for one show or knew what it was.
Mhm. And then people are like, "Oh man, that show you made that's on Netflix, it's great. Why don't you make more?" Oh, you bastards!
Why are you torturing me like this?
This is maybe one of my favorite scenes of the show. I love drunk sad Ash talking to Pablo's
Pablo's
corpse,
corpse.
which is duct taped together. And I know filming the scene, Ray just has a couple of fake legs just on top of it. Yeah, these are like the Ash scenes we don't get in the movies when he gets to just be sad and process the shit that's happened to him.
No, that is one of my favorite things about when they finally go back to the cabin in season 1 is you do get some of that closure, like him, look thinking about Linda and reminiscing, and then we cheapen it by doing it again.
Yep. Well, I know the original plan was way more ambitious, where we'd time travel and then have Ash meet his younger self before the shenanigans with the Evil Dead
Why was
happens.
there one idea time travel?
Well, I mean, to be fair, we've done time travel in this series before, so it makes sense to do it again. I want to know how they would have filmed that. Like, were they going to de-age Bruce Campbell on a TV budget? Or just recast him? I don't know how they were planning on filming that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like the most overt Army of Darkness reference you get, where he just says he's been back to the Middle Ages, but it's still kind of vague.
Yeah. Ash, that's not a real hand. You can't feel anything.
There's a story there I want more context for. Yeah, maybe my license isn't from the DMV. Where is it from? As always, Bruce Campbell's just so good.
Yeah.
He's just always fun to watch. There's the homeless guy whose life he ruined. Yeah, and I don't hate the idea of doing time travel again. The portal looks the same as it looks at the end of Evil Dead 2, so that's fun.
Yeah, I think my problem is in a show where you have to continue the narrative, it creates more problems than it causes, and they do the least interesting thing possible with it.
Yeah, I wish we didn't use this just to go back to the cabin. I wish we went somewhere else.
It would never happen because it would be a fuck ton of money, But wouldn't it be insane if like the end of the season was time travel and then season 3 was the Medieval Dead like again?
Which is the better title than Army of Darkness.
Yes. No, Universal had some weird like. What are you doing?
It's always weird when
Jeez.
we take a sequel like that and try to sell it like as an original film that's not connected to anything. I love how he literally ruins this man's life. He's like, no, I can't drink. My family has a bad history of that. Nah, here you go. It's fine. I'll use your conscience.
That's peak.
That's why we love Ash. Is he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a Friday the 13th reference. That's fun.
Did we? I missed it.
Yeah, it was one of the movies playing at the theater. Part 3, I think.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's funny. They said we're in 1982, which isn't when Evil Dead 1 or 2 come out, so we're just splitting the difference.
That no, I don't. Are you right about that?
Well, because Evil Dead 1's like, isn't that 81?
Yeah. You just said they're in 1981.
No, I said 82.
Oh. Sorry, for some reason I thought you said 1981. Okay, so you know what it is? I bet you know what I think they're doing? So Evil Dead 1 has a limited release at a specific theater in 1981. It doesn't get a wide release until 83. So 82 is it's in the middle. Um, this also is going to be weird because the movies never really state what time it is. Like, obviously, it is the 80s, but he's going to show up halfway through the professor's research.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
Henrietta was just hiding in that basement for the first movie.
Yes. So Nobi's already been to the cabin. I think Henrietta's already possessed and buried, but
Yes,
Ash hasn't showed up.
because this is the big thing I hate about this two-parter is we have to do Henrietta again.
This sequence is kind of fun. They got Ted Raimi plays
They
her
did,
again.
but I think the makeup looks really bad, and
We'll
Ash
see.
doesn't seem to remember facing her before.
Yeah, he's been hitting the head a lot.
That's true.
Like you said, I agree with most of your criticisms, but while I'm watching it, I'm still having a fun time because it's Bruce Campbell. He's just always watchable.
Yeah. I mean, I still love most of the season. It's just
This is a great meta joke here where he's like, wait, did I find the book up here or was it in the cellar? Referencing both movies.
yeah. That's a Army of Darkness reference, I believe.
And then it would be really funny if Ash just dies because he never got a tetanus shot. He just dies from an infection stepping on that nail.
It's fine. Hey, Jareth, how's it going?
Hello.
You are consistent at showing up near the end. I appreciate that.
That's fine. We have like an episode and a half left.
Oh wait, the nail is gonna do something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a little Evil Dead 1 reference with the black veins spreading.
Well, that's an Evil Dead 2 reference. Because that's what happens to his
What?
hand in 2.
Oh sure. Yeah, no, I was thinking of 1 when Linda or whoever gets stabbed in
Yeah.
the ankle.
I just think, well, yeah, I guess that.
He gets really close to chopping off his leg, and he's like, wait, I don't want to do that again.
I thought that's what we were gonna do the first time I watched this.
This is so gross and over the top.
I don't think his leg could
It
bend
seems like
that
such a
way.
bad. Oh, Ash, you're not the sharpest chainsaw in the workshed, and we love
Uh,
you for it.
Another Army of Darkness reference. Tyler, how do you
Hmm.
rank the seasons? Release date 1, 2, 3.
I might put 3 over 2. It'll depend on our next rewatch of it. They're about on par for me.
Yeah, the
They have different
one-off
problems.
the one-off episodes where they're just like this movie, but in Ash versus Evil Dead, like Christine, but Ash versus Evil Dead, or The Thing, elevate this for me. All I can ever remember
Hmm.
from 3 is that long, drawn out, like, I don't know if I trust you. You're my dad, but I kind of hate you. It's like, oh
Hmm.
god.
Yeah, that is one of the shames of the show ending where it does is, oh, had we gotten a 4th season, you could have had a season of Brandy and him getting along like the whole time.
Uh,
Her actually being a part of the team. With what we got, she's not really part of the team until like the very end.
okay, so I will give you this. This stuff is all great.
It's still entertaining. My crazy husband locked me in the cellar.
It's also funny because it makes these little like meta references that split the difference, between 1 and 2. But then it also just goes with the 2 origin where it's just they found this cabin. Because in 1 they specifically rent it, and 2 he just shows up. Like I found this place.
That's what's really funny about the Hills Have Eyes reference in the first movie. It's like, why do the Nobies have that poster in their cellar?
Why do they have Freddy's glove in 2?
Ah, you thought it was cool.
Well, if you take this into consideration, it makes much more sense because apparently he was an asshole. If I was Ash, you could not pay me to get on those steps. And that is why.
Her story seems legit.
This this is the one time where I think they overplay his stupidity. I don't buy that he would remember Henrietta.
No, he just said we've met before.
Yeah, but then later on he's gonna act like she's not possessed, and he doesn't. He's surprised when she is.
Well, what he's not sure is if at this point in the timeline if she is possessed yet or not.
But this is also the same man that takes no prisoners when it comes to somebody might possibly being possessed.
Yeah, but he is punching her in the face.
That's true. It is also weird that like he just keeps her down in the basement locked up. I know you don't care about Evil Dead continuity, and I kind of don't. But it does feel like we've reinvented Nobi a little bit. Like he's kidnapping people to bring them here.
Mhm.
Is this also the first like physical Nobi that we get,
Yeah, but before we always just hear his voice.
or he's a weird projection? However the fuck they did
Projection
that.
ghost. Yeah. Yeah, in Evil Dead 2, he's what, like Eddie's father, and it's like really sad. And here it's like, oh, he was a bad guy. Hashtag not my Nobi.
Yeah, I kind of like. It's fine. I kind of wish they hadn't done this. Where it's like, oh no, he was actually just as bad as everyone else.
Mhm.
Because like Annie was researching stuff with him. Did she know about this? Was she just as bad?
Although, to be fair, I think what his plan was, Nobi, I think what his plan was to get the Deadite inside Henrietta into her so he could save Henrietta's life. Uh, that's at least a understandable motivation. It's still fucked up, but I think he's
That
doing
is
this
the
because he's trying to save
motivation.
his wife.
It's weird.
Yeah, and it's so cruel. She's like the Samara Weaving character from season 1. This innocent bystander who's treated so horribly and does
Uh,
not deserve this.
and she's also an Australian actress. She's in a ton of stuff too. Nothing I've heard of, but
No. Yeah. Again, to be fair, with the context of what's going on, I do buy Ash questioning, oh, maybe Nobi is evil.
I don't mind him questioning it. I don't buy for a second, even if she's not showing signs, that he would let Henrietta loose.
Mhm.
This is the man that is ready to kill somebody that he suspects is a Deadite in the second episode
Mhm.
with no proof.
But the timing's really funny. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, Lloyd, why would you let her free? You know she's possessed.
But he doesn't know if she's possessed yet. And now he knows.
Bad Girl is a really underrated Samara Weaving movie. I have not seen that.
Yeah, I've
Her
heard of that
new
one.
movie with uh
The Jack
Jack
Nicholson's boy.
Nicholson's kid. It's not bad.
Hmm.
I long for her to go back to doing something, insane like The Babysitter or
Mhm.
that movie Mayhem that she was in.
I haven't seen that. I also still need to see what's that movie? Azrael.
Yes.
Uh,
Azrael was pretty good. It's really weird that it feels like a Years Too Late Quiet Place ripoff. Oh
and
god, not
this
the
is also
tree.
yeah. Seeing Kelly and Ruby fighting the evil possessed tree. That's kind of fun.
No, that is fun.
It's a lot of remember this, but yeah. And I like that the tree looks like the evil tree in Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Got the big goofy face.
Bad Girls, a drama slash thriller.
Yeah, good to know. Well, I love Samara Weaving. She's great.
She's probably my favorite modern scream queen.
Yeah, she's awesome. That's a funny joke when Ruby says, that could have been worse." I've seen Evil Dead 1. I know what that tree is capable of.
No, 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 no. Wait. Damn, she's got a shit ton of movies coming out.
She's very busy.
She's got three of post production, and she's filming Ready or Not, Here I Come. I didn't need a sequel to Ready or Not, but
See
see.
how it turns out.
So one thing I don't like about this show, especially in this season and the next one, is the gross out like
Most of
hot.
that's this season, and I know that was the original.
Yeah,
That was some infighting behind the scenes. Is this showrunner was really pushing for more of the gross out potty humor stuff, and Sam Raimi and everyone else was like, yeah, that's not really what Evil Dead is.
like
I,
you
I
get
think
that
they
snap zoom of her ass. I didn't need to see that. But see what I mean is like I don't know what it is, but they fucked up her design somehow.
it's still Ted Raimi. I think the makeup's fine.
I didn't say it wasn't. I said they fucked up the design. Ash, you beat this Deadite like 30 years ago. You should not be having problems now.
He's old.
Tyler says, Ready or Not, Here I Come, finished filming yesterday.
That's
I,
true.
I just, what do you do? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, both that and the Black Phone 2 are like, I didn't need a sequel to this, but okay, we'll see how it
the
goes.
one thing that the sequel to Ready or Not has is Sarah Michelle Gellar and David Cronenberger in it. Okay.
That's cool.
And I haven't watched the Black Phone 2 trailer, but yeah, because doesn't the the killer die at the end of that?
He does, but to be fair, like that is a supernatural movie, and I was honestly from that trailer, I was getting like Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. So I was like, this could be cool.
Oh, and
I'll
Elijah
see it.
Wood is in Ready or Not too.
Oh, cool.
That
He's
is a
also gonna be
great
in the
song choice given the end of this episode. But
Elijah Wood's
back
also gonna be in that Toxic Avenger remake.
he is. But back to our original, what I was talking about a minute ago with the potty humor. But it's not just this season. because season 3 also has the sperm bank episode,
It does,
which
and it's gross.
that goes
That's
a little
just one
far.
episode, though.
Yeah. And I don't want to say that it's like a prudish. It's just that's not my sense of humor, and I don't think that's the show's sense of humor, personally. But that is season 2, episode 9, Home Again. Robert, what is season 2, episode 10?
Second Coming.
You can't do that.
And we're already at the end. This flew by.
We're in the end game now. Okay, so real quick, because we're gonna finish at like 10:30. You don't have to, but do you want to do something else after this?
I think I'm good. I might call it. It's an
That's fine.
early night.
That's fine. That's why, like I said, you don't have to. You heard it here, folks. Robert's flaking out on the channel.
That's true.
Comments, we'll get to you here in a minute. All right, this is season 2, episode 10, The Second Coming. Do you think Jesus Christ shows up in this episode?
I wish. Who would you get to play him?
Bruce Campbell.
Ted Raimi?
Yes, no, it has to be Ted Raimi or Ian McGregor. Pay off the Obi-Wan meme. All right, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1, play. Black Phone 2 looks good, says Jareth. I mean, maybe I'll watch that trailer just because I'm not sold yet, but you could do Samara Weaving going to take on the devil from the first movie, but why? Why would she?
Yeah, like I wouldn't want that. Yeah, I don't
Because
know
I think realistically what you get is just it is the first movie again. If it's finished filming, maybe we get a trailer soon. But I think it's telling that Scream 7, their Scream 7 flopped and they came running back to Ready or Not.
Oh, you mean like just Scream 7 didn't work out with them? So
yeah. I almost said 6 flopped, but I don't know if it did. Oh, did it?
No, it made a lot of money.
That's unfortunate.
Hey, at least this character saying that line makes sense. Not in Evil Dead Rise.
Ash, you should know that doesn't work. You've done this before.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't write the rules.
Oh.
I've seen Army of Darkness. You can shoot
dead.
a Deadite a couple times.
You know, just once. I want to see what they're doing that turns people into human balloons.
See, she's alive. She's fine. Nope. I love that he can't tell what's different about her.
Ah, crap.
2 rubies? Yeah, like I said, it's not character regression. It's just a different version of this character from a different time who hasn't had that character
But
arc yet. So like it makes sense that she's evil
the
next season.
problem is that we erased the one that was good, and the other one isn't a different character. It's the same character from season 1. That is still a character regression.
I don't think so. It's just an excuse to have her be evil again without undoing her arc. I don't know. I see them as two different characters.
Like I
that's the girl
don't
stuff.
need that.
At least Ted Raimi's having a good time. There you get the projector callback. That's fun. Yeah, that's the part of the CGI that's not good.
Oh god. Remember Evil Dead 2?
At least it's a puppet for most of the scene.
Gosh, just cut off the head. Like,
he has a process, John. Don't rush him.
the process is getting his ass kicked.
That looks really dangerous. I don't know if it's a good idea to have your chainsaw that close to your torso while you're cutting something.
That's fine.
I do like this bit. Fuck you.
It is kind of weird how they like use a lot more curse words in this show. He didn't really drop a lot of F bombs. I think there's just one in Army of Darkness
That's
that
true.
I can think of. It's not bad, mind you. It's just weird.
Get the fuck out of my face.
I mean, that is the best like use of an F bomb in what they thought was going to be a PG-13 movie.
Yeah. Of course, the first thing Ash's mind goes to, it's like, oh, this would be a fun threesome. 2 rubies. No, I do like this philosophical argument. And it makes sense. Like they can't just turn this other Ruby through words. You know, she hasn't had those experiences. She hasn't been betrayed by Maul.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna kill the good Ruby, then she can't come back as bad Ruby in the 3rd season.
At least it's set up here.
Actually, no, I'm gonna fight you on that for a minute. So this is time travel. Ruby kills herself in the 80s. So then she would always live to the point where she goes back in time to the 80s to die. There shouldn't be a Ruby at all after the point of time travel.
Are you trying to make sense of time travel in the
Yes.
Evil Dead universe, John?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, it's using Terminator rules. It's fine.
I don't know what the Terminator rules of time travel are either. They change every movie.
This is a funny scene, though. I'm not dead yet. Like I said, I'm glad this version of Ruby at least gets a satisfying ending.
Yeah, it should have just been the character's ending.
Yeah, but they didn't want to cut Lucy Lawless from the show. I get it.
Then don't kill her. I mean, it's not this. It's not
You're really
complicated.
stuck on this, and I'm like, I don't know. We gotta see her as evil again next season. I think it's fine. I like that she gets to play multiple versions of this character. Now, I like that this version of Ruby dies and that it's permanent. But then she gets to be a villain again next. I think it's fine. And speaking of time travel rules, because he's in the 80s, his hand grows back.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh.
Because Bruce Campbell just wants to act with both hands. It'll let him. It's fine.
Well, no, that makes sense because he's now made it so that his younger self will never read from the book, so he never has to cut off his hand, which further influences my point that if she dies now, the evil Ruby should not be able to exist in season 3.
No, that's not true. That's not true though. It's future Ruby that dies. This Ruby is past Ruby, so it makes sense that she's alright.
Right, but no, what I'm saying is Ruby should have never lived past this point to get to season 3.
But it's a different Ruby, John.
It's not.
You're not.
It can't be. How is it a different Ruby? It's so then they're in an alternate universe.
Sure. You're trying to make sense of this, and I don't think you can.
Jesus Christ, that. I forgot how rushed the final showdown with Ball is going to be.
Oh, yeah. Jared says, this makes less sense than the time travel in Dragon Ball Z.
Yes. The Dragon Ball Z time travel makes sense. Sort of.
And Judd, this is also a show where both Evil Dead 1 and 2 are somehow canon.
It's fine. All you have to do is like cut out 10 minutes of Evil Dead 2 and they line up. I'm just saying the show wants to have its cake and eat it too, and any other show and you would be calling them out for it.
Yeah, but this is just goofy nonsense.
Ah, Jesus. I think that's the other part of it is because they do that, all 3 seasons, the bad guys have the same exact fucking plan.
Yeah.
We have some variety. A little bit.
Can you tell me what the Flying Dutchman is going on? Yeah, I know by the end of this season, there were a lot of issues behind the scenes with the show. A lot of stuff was changed at the last minute. So and you could tell this is easily the weakest finale.
Jareth Cell's time travel still doesn't make sense to me. What part of it doesn't make sense?
Yeah, this is such a fuck it ending. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They just have an agreement to fight each other without powers, I guess.
I do like there's a reoccurring theme of the Medal of Man, because I think that's
Mhm.
mentioned in season 1 too. And
Yeah,
that's one of
that's the
his
tagline for season 3.
unique perks in Dead by Daylight, the Medal of Man.
Mm. Yeah, even though the show was canceled after 3 seasons, it is fun that the Ash vs. Evil Dead brand has stuck around, like through video games and shit. It's nice that it's not forgotten. Jared's, I guess I'm just easily confused, as we all
That's
are.
fair. I mean, time travel is always hard to think of, but the thing with Dragon Ball Z time travel is it kind of works like what Marvel thinks they're doing in Endgame, where when you travel backwards in time to a specific point and you change something, that now creates an entirely new timeline, but the old
Mhm.
timeline still exists. You know, this is a fuck it, but I don't know. It also kind of works. Like it shows how Ash is kind of a scrappy, like
It's a better version of the ending of The Mummy 3
I don't even
when Brendan
remember the Mummy
Fraser's
3.
like
What?
at
What? Why
he's
are you
like,
dropping a Mummy 3 reference of all things?
when else am I gonna get the chance? Because he goes to fight Jet Li and he says, "Fight like a man," and then they have a fist fight, even though Jet Li has superpowers. Why? Fuck it.
I'm glad you have at least somebody remembers what happened in that movie.
Somebody has to. That's a movie I'm scared to go back to.
I'm really scared to do the commentary because we're gonna have to. Um, we're gonna have to do Resident Evil 7 and 8 soon. Actually, we need to do 4 soon.
Was 4 the one you wanted to do with Noah?
Yes, Noah wants to be
Uh,
there because he loves that game.
okay.
Some of us don't live under a rock. No, it's just funny because 4 is like Capcom's Skyrim. That's literally on everything. I would know. I bought it so many times. Ah, Jesus. Also, Lucy Lawless has aged amazingly. Like,
That's
she's
true.
in her 60s, I think, at, or 50s in this show. Doesn't look like it.
Nope.
I would kill for Raimi to cast her in like an actual film.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I think she really gets his style.
Hmm. Oh yeah, she knows the right camp performance.
Why do you keep falling for this?
What?
Jared,
It's chat.
yeah, that we
There's
were
a lot.
talking about that earlier. Can confirm The Mummy 3 is not that good. Watched it. I mean, I know it wasn't that good. I was there when it came out. I was excited. That movie's biggest problem is just recast. They recast certain people, and the recasts suck.
Losing Rachel Weisz is a big problem.
Yeah.
This bit's funny. He just got his hand back, and now it has to get cut off again. No. I love how much Bruce Campbell sells the pain and anguish of Ash having to lose his hand again.
Why is it sentient?
Why is it possessed? Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, remember Evil Dead 2 when the hand flipped him off?
I love that this finale is like, fuck it, you're back, you're back. The gang's all here. You get to see them all one last time. Because why not?
I like that Ruby is the one that's like smart and Bald's a fucking idiot. That's like, yeah, I'll fist fight you.
And that is one thing season 3 has that's nice is we don't go back to the cabin again. They're like, okay, we've done that too much.
Well,
We
they
can't
don't
do
know
it
if they,
again.
yeah. I don't even know if you could have done it a third time unless you just do time travel again, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is remarkable how much this looks like the Evil Dead 2 cabin.
Yeah, no, the set design is still fantastic. And then Lee Majors is back. This was a relief for me the first time I watched this, where we kill his dad in like the third episode. It was kind of a bummer. Like, oh, I didn't want to lose him that quickly, and then it's nice to see him one more time, and then again in 3. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. Bruce Campbell like loves Lee Majors and brings this up constantly. Like that's his main takeaway from doing this show is I gotta work with Lee Majors. It's the best thing I've ever done in my career. He's so happy about it.
That's awesome. I didn't know who he was until this show.
He was the $6 million man.
Did he just kill his dad again? I don't remember.
Maybe.
You don't remember either.
I don't know what's happening.
Wait, what?
Wow. Lee Majors is literally as old as Batman.
Damn.
Born in 1939. He's still alive.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Easy.
Good for him.
You gotta admit, this is awesome.
It's still fun.
I forgot
a
about the
chainsaw on
chainsaw
chainsaw
duel.
fight is always great. Yeah. It's the best part of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah. Thoughts on Blumhouse buying half of the Saw rights? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
What is it? Austin always says Blumhouse should be condemned
Yeah. I don't know why some people are excited about that.
because people still think James Wan can make movies.
Maybe Lionsgate finally sold off Saw because they're like, fuck it, we're going all in on John Wick now. They're just the John Wick studio because they have 20,000 spin-offs they've
Oh, apparently they're
announced.
doing Red Sonja versus Army of Darkness, unless this is old.
Oh, it's like a comic book?
Yeah. Austin just posted the greatest comic book crossover of all time. And
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna send this to you because I need to read this. Look at your.
Hell yeah. That's amazing. I do love how Ash defeats Ball. He just gets him to stab himself with his claw, and that works. It's straight up Freddy Krueger Part 6 logic.
Well, what I
You
like
get him.
is how he gets him to lower his defenses is with the dumbest possible question. What was she like in the sack? Huh?
It's perfectly in character though.
Yeah.
This is cool practical effect. That's very Hellraiser.
Yes. And then younger Ash and Scotty and Linda are all going to show up, and the cabin will be fine.
Sure. Yeah, this is the point where I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so even if it is somehow a different Ruby, she shouldn't have survived past this point either. But to your point, I don't know what's happening right now. Uh, but see, like they wrote it perfectly to have it just be Ash and Kelly, and then you introduce Brandy next season. Uh, but somehow this
I'm
happened.
fine. Yeah, it's fine. He's fine. We're all fine. Happy ending.
All right, Robert, we need the 3-hour video essay on this whole scene.
Yeah, this ending is so insane, but I love it. Look, Ash is wearing his Clark Kent outfit again. He's got the red jacket and everything.
Yeah.
Why is he a hero now? I don't know. They're just taking his word for it.
When are we gonna remake Smallville with Bruce Campbell as Clark Kent?
I do love the Return of the Jedi ending. It's so stupid.
The return
But
of
I
the
like,
return of that Jedi ending.
yeah. Got the blue ghosts. It's great. Yeah, this ending is so unearned and random, but who cares? It's like, whatever.
Come into a discussion of Return of the Jedi. I appreciate that. Uh, Hello, Adam Arch. Yeah,
Hello.
we were just discussing how that's the true horror movie. Now, I don't know if you've
It would've
seen.
been-
I don't know if you've seen Ash vs. Evil Dead, but season 2 has a couple of Return of the Jedi moments.
Return of the Jedi would have been a better movie if Bruce Campbell was in it.
I mean, Star Wars, the trilogy would have been good if Bruce Campbell played Luke Skywalker. I'm just saying. Or Bruce Campbell should have been Yoda. Can you imagine?
Kyle said, "Wait, people watch this? How?"
The
Show
show.
asterisk.
Uh, there's dozens of us.
There are dozens of us. A lot of people
Adam
watched it when
Arch.
it was on Netflix after it was
Adam,
canceled.
Adam Arch, am I hearing hate for Return of the Jedi? Well, I mean, it doesn't have Bruce Campbell in it, so you know. No, if they wanted to make this work, they should have had it be the shitty projector, like insane loud noise ghost from Evil Dead 2. Bruce Campbell as Darth Vader, his lightsaber is just a red chainsaw. Wait. Yeah, it's all connected. No, in all seriousness, Adam Arch, I think we've talked about this, but Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie.
And there's Evil Ruby. She's still out there.
Yeah, which is dumb, but whatever.
Happy ending? Question mark.
It's also just like such a not Evil Dead ending.
It's so weird. Like I said, easily the weakest finale of the three, but at least it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
They did course correct next season.
So that is season 2, episode 10. We did it.
Yeah, we finished season 2. One
Adam
day we'll get to
Arch.
season 3.
What it lacks in Bruce Campbell, it makes up for with Little Bears. I mean, that's true. The Ewoks are kind of awesome.
Bruce Campbell should have voiced an Ewok.
He should
That
have.
would have been great.
My favorite Star Wars movie is when he gets really mad at sand. That movie's so boring. Did I say that as a prequel defender? Like episode 2 is boring.
Oh my god, we got an after credit scene.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to look at it later. I didn't know there was an after credit scene.
Yeah, the little girl finds the Necronomicon. I don't remember how they pay that off next season.
Do they?
What? I just watched it.
No, do they pay it off? Genius.
I don't remember.
I'm not doubting you that it happened. Attack of the Clones is boring. Still better than Rise of Skywalker. Yes.
That's true.
Adam March, Warwick Davis versus Bruce Campbell, both as Ewoks. That's the Ryan Gosling movie. I'd watch that.
I'd watch that.
Hey, Bruce Campbell will work with Disney. We got Pizza Papa.
We do. Pizza Papa is canon now.
And he has hinted that he's coming back for more.
He did defeat Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
In Bruce Campbell's words.
He did.
He delayed him.
That's all he had to do. Well, Robert, we did it. Next Friday is Friday the 13th. So if you are new, just coming in, we do have a poll up for what Friday film we do. And it is once again tied this time a 3-way. 5, 7, and 10. No love for 8. Bunch of fucking haters.
I actually thought 8 might win. We'll see. We got a week.
Adam Arch gives us Strange 3 with Raimi and Campbell, and the world will be made right. Yeah, I want Strange. I want Doctor Strange 3 because anybody who hates Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is wrong, and I am going on record as saying you're wrong. That movie is awesome.
It's a fun movie.
Yes. And it didn't derail any character arcs. That was always going to be the plan. Anyone who says that it derails Wanda's character arc didn't actually watch WandaVision or pay attention.
It is awkwardly handled, but that's a different conversation.
Is it? They set it up at the end of WandaVision.
Yeah, and an after credits scene.
It's part of. Okay, we are 10 plus years into the MCU. If you don't stay till the end, that's your own damn fault.
But also, if the idea is that the Darkhold is making her more evil, we need more than one throwaway line. That.
What do you mean? That entire show is about how the Darkhold can corrupt you.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that's set up in the show.
But it's so vague and unexplained. My problem is that she has the same arc in WandaVision that she has in that movie. You get to the end and it's like the same.
Well, that's because they can't insist that you watch WandaVision.
Right. But that's a different conversation.
Strange Multiverse Madness is a ton of fun. Give us more Doctor. Yeah. Jareth, it is the 45th anniversary of the original. We just did a commentary on the original a few weeks ago, so I like that movie. That is not one that I want to watch that many times in a row. Oh, wait a minute. Jason X has taken the lead. Somebody out there loves me.
That's the one you're rooting for.
Because it's peak. The show, it starts with Agatha and shows corrupts people, and then we get more from the Doctor Strange movie, then talks about it and Agatha all along. Yeah, because I mean, I haven't went back to WandaVision since it came out, but I watched like 3 episodes and I was like, I don't need to watch any more of this. But yeah, I was pretty sure that was the whole thing in Doctor Strange or in WandaVision, where it was like the Darkhold had corrupted Agatha. Ugh. Just watch Freddy vs. Jason for Friday the 13th. I mean, we do need to do that at some point.
We'll get to it.
We can do all 3 horror crossover or like slasher monster versus movies in one night. There's only 3 of them.
Kyle said the only space movie I need is Terrifier in space. That would be amazing. I'd watch it.
They'll never do it. All right. Well, as much fun as it is hanging out with you guys, that is going to be it for us. Robert's tired.
Am I? You're the one yawning.
Jared says I just tied the poll. Shut up. Adam March, Freddy vs. Jason is just so much fun. No, Freddy vs. Jason is so much fun. AVP, it has moments.
It does have. I like it better than Requiem.
Ugh. Yeah.
It's got that going for it.
I can see what's happening in AVP. I cannot say the same for
That's true.
Requiem. Um, yeah, we're gonna get out of here. We will be back Sunday with a review of Killer of Killers. Robert, I'm excited to see what you think of it, and maybe have
Yeah.
you heard back from Austin on that? Is he coming?
He said he's not going to be available for that, but if we do a follow up stream on something, then he might be able to join us for that.
Have a good night, everybody.